I love it. It's got an anime opening feel because there's all these kind of like moments, like any good anime opening. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. And we have this just beautiful rotation. Here, they've actually kind of cheated it, as we call it in filmmaking. Nice wide angle, stretched face, 15 millimeter and below. You start to get a little bit of distortion in the subject. The character is almost like a marionette being controlled by him. And that's cool with that imagery of his hands up too, like a marionette. I'm curious about this girl, because who is she that she has like full control over the cards? She's like, man, is she all powerful here? Is she telling this story to the viewer? Kind of like D&D scenario. She's dealing it to me. You get to choose. You get to go on this journey. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Philip. I'm a filmmaker and actor, and today we're going to be watching and reacting to Honkai Star Rail Interstellar Journey official release trailer and analyzing the cinematic language. I'm really excited. If you guys are new to the channel, I have a ton of videos where I break down the cinematic language of Honkai Impact, Genshin Impact. So very familiar with MiHoYo and some of the filmmaking that they've done, and we've really enjoyed it here on the channel. So if you guys are into that style of filmmaking from that company, make sure to check out my Genshin and Honkai videos. That being said, I'm completely new to the Star Rail community, so feel free to let me in on lore in the comments or anything that you want to fill me in on to help me be a part of the community. And please let me know in the comments other Star Rail cinematics that I can react to, even cutscenes in the game. I would love to break them down. All right, Hoyoverse, let's see what they've got for us today. Oh, it's like an old projector, like we used to do in school as kids. I love that. Wow, okay, cards, dealing cards. Cool. Like casino type vibe. Honkai Star Rail. Are these the two main characters? Is this like the characters in Genshin? The twins? Oh, smooth. I like the song. It's got an anime opening feel. There's this like nice hazy light effect that they've applied to all these shots. And look at this, there's this nice light well that they've put on there. Really cool showcase of the characters so far. Oh, a martial artist. That's right up my alley. You guys know I love making action films. Oh man, some really cool images here. We're gonna have to go back and break these down a little bit. So they actually have this beautiful light well, and here they've actually kind of cheated it, as we call it in filmmaking, by here having a light source appear to be giving off that light, which is a technique that tons of filmmakers use, where they'll have, you know, a light on like this side of the room, so your brain is kind of tricked into thinking that that is lighting the character, when in fact they have like a, you know, an outside light source half the size of the room, like big soft boxes or something. Like, also guys, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. We're this close to 20,000 subscribers. Up here we have the light effect, and see, there's just, you can tell it's this nice hazy kind of softness, almost like diffused light that they've applied to the image, and it has this nice little glow on it, so it gives a very warm feeling to the characters, which is cool. Even though it's like cold out and everything, they give this feeling of warmth and welcoming to a new game, to a new community. So I like that. Anyways, I'll try not to pause as much, but let's check it out. Really cool character designs too. I like what I'm seeing. This is great. And you can see again, there's that big light well over there, and it's kind of giving this very naturalistic feel to being outside. You know, when it's really bright, you can't quite see from the sun. Again, warmth even in the cold, which is great. I'm getting big Genshin vibes from this character. Love the martial arts. I love it. It's got an anime opening feel because there's all these kind of like moments that they're hinting at, of drama, of emotion, but they're keeping it fun and they're keeping it lighthearted, like any good anime opening. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. We're gonna have to go back and look at that one. Yeah. Oh man, I love what I see. Wow, it's like a big creature. Oh man. Okay, so his power is kind of like that big spear maybe, and that might be the main character from what I've seen. I like the shot of the butterfly. Whoa! Oh, that's a great shot. And we come back full circle to the woman with the cards as they drop down. Available 426. Man, what a cool feeling. It was almost like all the characters, you know, are one of the cards. They're being dropped down, and then we have that, you know, these guys kind of falling through the air as well. I absolutely love it. Let's go back and look at a couple things. Just like an anime opening, they had a lot of these cool shots thrown in there, again, to show the variety of the game and characters. And I love these sort of moments that we have. It's like, well, who is this guy? What's he doing? What's he reflecting on as he holds a leaf? Like, and it's an autumn leaf in winter. Where did he get this leaf? It's out of season. It's cool. Like we have to look at these as kind of short films, I always say, right? You want to ask questions and then answer them. So I like that. And maybe it's like a metaphorical leaf. Maybe it's not even there. I love this shot. Again, just a really nice composition, including the snowflakes here. Gives you enough visual information to kind of see what's happening, why she has an umbrella. It's nice. And these are some of the characters. So I assume these are like some of the early game characters that you can get on your party, if it's at all similar to Genshin. Really like this. This gives me such Liyue vibes from Genshin. It's great. And like, what is this, a kite? Beautiful. This character too almost made me think of Shen He, but of course, just the hair color. Right? I love this guy. Again, I assume a character you can recruit in the game. It almost reminds me of games like Suikoden too, where you would see all of the characters like a little bit in the intro and everything's like over 100 characters in Suikoden. But this is great, man. Look at this. He's got like a mechanical hand, I think. Punch in the bag. There was something going on with the frame rate there that I really liked. Yeah, look at this. They added a little bit of juice on that impact. A little bit of motion blur and quite a little bit of a zoom in too. This is a technique that some filmmakers will use in action films during a fight scene. They will edit on the impact to that little bit of a zoom in and stuff. It'll be used sometimes to help sell a hit that didn't quite sell, and maybe there's like a frame or two that's kind of sus. It didn't quite sell with the hit with the performers. So you can use that. You can punch in a little bit and sometimes cut out a frame as well. So it's cool to see that little emphasis. And if we go back and watch it, you can see it in real time. Look how it just emphasizes that punch. It's super subtle. You don't really catch it when you're watching it in normal motion. But check this out. Yeah, just that little bit of a boom. That's cool. Like a character is just saying, keeping a secret or something. I love that shot, man. I love that shot because, inevitably we're not seeing what he's seeing. And like I said, it's asking these really fun questions, like an anime opening where it's like, oh, what's going on? It's kind of a little taste of the story. It's like he looks very distressed. Who's he reaching for? Is it a person? Is it an object he's trying to catch? So we'll have to play the game to find out, right? Beautiful shot too. Color use here is super on point. Very, very lovely. The striking crimson leaves, which we saw one of those earlier. It could be related. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if it is. But the crimson leaves against this just midnight sky with it's just a beautiful composition. We have these leading lines. If you look at the composition of these leaves, look how it just perfectly goes down to the subject's head. Just leads down with these beautiful lines. And of course the moon here leads down right to his head. It's just it's a great composition. It draws your eye right to the subject. Beautiful. And there's these particles and everything. It's there for like 2 seconds. That's cool too. And there's some writing here that I can't make out. That's beautiful. That's what I want to look at. So there's some kind of like, to me, this would be hinting at maybe some villains, maybe some conflict. This one specifically, like, what is that? Is that a big beast? Is it a character? Is it armor? Really cool. I love this shot. This is a great shot. So let's look at this shot a little bit in detail. So if we go through this shot slowly, like we have all these characters kind of coming in and coming out of the shot, and there's a really cool feeling to it being one shot, as if we're moving with the characters as they perform all their hits and stuff. So this one long shot being called a oneer in filmmaking, it's awesome to see all the characters coming in and out, performing their actions, giving a little taste of what they do. And, inevitably, sort of subconsciously, you feel like you're part of the action. You feel like you're there with them. And you're up against this foe, which seems, like super scary, floating. It's got like ice coming off it and stuff. But you got your comrades with you. And it's cool to be like along with them on the journey, running through. It's a super good choice for that shot, I think. This is the one I wanted to look at. This shot, gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of it is I mean, it's so short. I mean, we're looking at maybe 2 seconds. But we'll look at this as we pause play through it. Like, just beautiful, beautiful image. Again, I mentioned composition earlier. Look at that, framed within the moonlight, and it's just gorgeous image of her kind of rotating. And look what happens is we actually punch in to a tighter focal length, and we have this just beautiful rotation as it turns red. And like, it's a short image, but what a fascinating choice. Yeah, really cool feeling. And she starts kind of like upside down, and then, you know, as she twists, her right eye ends up over here on the rightmost third. Like, just a super creative shot. And the color use here is really exceptional too for such a short shot. And there's a lot of particles, and there's a cool little vignette here on the outside of the screen. Just it's nicely done for a short shot, man. MiHoYo's really going hard on this. That's a really cool character design. Big hammer with like cogs on it. I love that. Yeah. So we're going to space in this game, it looks like. It's crazy. I love this too. This is, again, like a cool kind of anime intro callback, because you can feel that sort of little preview you'll get of like, what's some of the powers that our character's going to discover. And then you get to see that happen throughout the anime. And hopefully they don't spoil too much. Some anime openings are notorious for this, spoiling too much. But otherwise, you can have it just a nice little preview of cool stuff to come. Yeah, that's an awesome shot there too. Very kinetic. And just nicely edited. Nice shot selection here. He powers up, the flames appear. We close up to his hand as he gets the power. And then we have this cool zoom out of like the spear, kind of its full size and everything, showcasing that. Then we zoom out. He runs up for that nice shot, and we get the nice wide angle stretched face. And this is achieved with a wide angle lens. Probably anything under like a 15mm and below, you start to get a little bit of distortion in the subject, especially the closer they are to the edges of the camera and to the camera, it's into the lens itself. And look at this. Is that cool? Sort of like crazed anime face stretchiness. We'd love to see it. Yeah, really nicely done. And they achieved this. It was a good choice to do a wide angle here, because you have such a sense of movement when he's really moving only from like from here to here. You know, he's moving in and then he's striking with the spear. But with that wide angle, the stretchiness of it, you just feel this visceral feeling of him winding up by seeing his hand outstretched. It's visceral. It just gives it a little bit more space to breathe, and that's a good example of like choosing a lens to emphasize what you want to emphasize. Good direction there. I love this shot. This one stood out to me. I don't know why exactly, but if we go back, just a beautiful warm shot. And again, like, they've gone with some really cool color theory here, having it almost washed out in the background. This is very gray. A lot of the image, her hair is gray, and they made the background almost match her hair, which is an interesting choice. But then you have, you know, her glove, which is very dark, and then against it, just this bright butterfly. I don't know, just a striking image. And you have it so, you know, there's a little bit of reflection on her face here. I love it. It's a great shot. And to have this, something in the foreground here out of focus, gives it that feeling that we're looking in. We're getting, you know, sort of an intimate look at somebody's personal life, what they're doing, and just a little bit of sense of depth too, because you can see there's a nice shallow depth of field with this out of focus and the background out of focus too. There's like a globe here. I love it. It asks you, it's making you ask questions about these characters. Like, what is she doing? What is this butterfly? What is she thinking? Is she sad? Is she reflective? It's awesome. It's a cool character there, actually. And like, this, is this a tool? Is this a weapon? This shot is awesome. And like, obviously I get villain vibes from this. And again, just super anime opening vibes, because, you know, this is just an abstract image. Like, I imagine this is not even part of the game. This is just like a cool image that you would see in an opening cinematic, right? And it's just this like overlord looming figure looking down on our hero here. And he has that sword that he summoned, that big spear sword thing. It's awesome. And he's got his hand up and there's like lava or something coming out of it. It's just awesome. It's awesome. He's split open and there's this like gold stuff coming out of him. Awesome image. Super epic image. It's like, wow, we got to face this guy. But it also has the feeling, because this guy being so larger than life, that he is much more powerful than the character. That the character is almost like a marionette being controlled by him. And that's cool with that imagery of his hands up too, like a marionette. So I don't know if that's what they're going for, but could definitely believe it. And then I like that we come back full circle. We have the cards. Yeah. And this is interesting, right? Because talking about characters to ask questions, I'm curious about this girl, because who is she that she has like full control over the cards? She's the one dealing the cards in the beginning, right? So that's where I ask myself, like, what is going on here? Who is she? She's dealing the cards here. So it's like, man, is she all powerful here? Is she telling this story to the viewer? Is this all a game that we're, you know, is this all a game that we are kind of participating in as like an outside body, and then the whole story of the game is taking place with this kind of like D&D scenario where she's explaining it to us with cards and we're picking our characters? It could be anything like that, but I do like that the whole thing seems to be kind of like, you know, she's dealing it to me. She's dealing it to me, the viewer, to you, the viewer, and it's kind of like you get to choose. You get to go on this journey. Let's see where the cards fall, and she in fact drops them on the ground at the end, and let's do this. So I like it. It's a great sort of inviting feeling to the beginning of a game. It didn't spoil anything, and I didn't have any like, oh, well, that's what's going to happen in the story. Just a nice little teaser of things to come. So I think it was great. You guys let me know what you think, if you agree with me. And like I said, please let me know in the comments. I would love to react to more Honkai Star Rail, as I've enjoyed Honkai Impact and Genshin. So please also check out those videos if you enjoyed their style of filmmaking. I've had a lot to say about their work in the past. And of course, if you want to see some of my film work, make sure to check out my recent film that has released, Trial of the Four Masters, over on my main channel, just titled Philip Hartshorn. All right, guys. I'll see you around town.